Oh, okay. I think we're live. So I had to wait a second. I'm so happy that I have a guest today here in my live studio. It's a dear, actually, I have to say it's a friend of mine. You became a friend of mine. It feels like we have such a nice heart connection that I have to say we have some friendship. I think that is growing between us. And Sylva Sternkopf is her name. She is also a client of mine and my editor. She edited my second book. And Sylva is an amazing person. She has an amazing personality, and she brings so much inspiration to to anyone she's talking to. So I decided to invite her into my masterclass that happened these last few days. And for everybody this year watching live, please feel free to comment if you want into the chat or ask us questions. And Sylva is also going to talk a little bit about her experience in my coaching, because she is not only my editor, but also a client of mine. I have the honor to work with her since a couple of months. And so maybe you just want to introduce yourself quickly and tell us who you are, where you are, what you're doing right now. You're right now in Switzerland writing a book also, right?
Yes, yeah, thanks for this hook, because this is always the most difficult question for me. If someone asks me, what do you do? I mean, it's easy to say, who are you? My name is Sylva Sternkopf. I'm from Germany. Actually, right now I'm here in Switzerland overlooking Lake Constance, which is really spreading out in front of my panorama window, which is really beautiful. And I went here for a little workation retreat to finish my book, because I'm working so much on other people's books that I don't have time to work on my own books. So the only solution was to really leave it all behind and say, I'm going to Switzerland, and focusing on my book. Yeah, focus is a really important thing for me, which I had to learn, because during the past 20 years, I developed 4 different companies, and they are all still there. So I'm actually the owner and head of 4 companies with 10 employees and a large network of freelancers. And still, I have the dream to publish my own book, which is actually almost finished. And this is what I'm doing right now. Yes.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward also to reading your book, actually. And so maybe also we can share the story how we met, because yesterday in the live, I was talking about you said you still need to watch the replay. If you have some time, watch it, because yesterday I was talking about the topic how you can attract your dream clients and your dream team. And I think like how we met, like how we manifested each other, it's such a dream story, because it just all came together so easily. It was such a serendipity, like in last year in November when we met. Maybe you want to share the story, and then I'm also going to tell a little bit about like how I perceived it.
Yeah, I remembered precisely. It was the 2nd of November, which is actually the birthday of my daughter. And I know it so precisely because I looked up the notes I took back then, just a couple of days ago, because I wanted to use them for my book, because it's still. I wrote down so many things in that 3 days live masterclass that you gave. And I keep going back to them because it's so important and so valuable for me. You asked questions and I wrote down the answers, and they have guided me through the last month, I can say. And it is so amazing to see what has come true already from the dreams and goals I noted down in November last year, which is just like 6 months ago.
It was November. That was actually a masterclass I gave. I think it was like a 3-day workshop with Zoom calls where, I don't know, there were like 15 women, and I worked with you, like, individually with the constellation work, with the energy healing, and you took part in that, right?
It was Samhain for Queens, yeah?
Yeah, no, I love it so much.
I didn't even know what Samhain was. It was the first time I heard it. I looked it up. Now I've learned a lot about it. Yeah, it's so interesting how little words, it sort of triggered me. I wanted to know what it is.
Yeah,
And
actually, it's amazing because I just see the coincidence that the name of that masterclass was Samhain for Queens. And I just taught the whole masterclass about queen and archetype, like this one I just gave. I just saw the coincidence.
I call myself on LinkedIn, I gave myself the title, the Queen of Storytelling. Yeah. So it was indeed for queens. And maybe now talking about this, maybe I even decided to rename myself in my profile to the Queen of Storytelling after your course. I think this was the case. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Oh my God, I love it so much. So this
And
is
I have got so many inquiries since that time, since I changed my title to the Queen of Storytelling. I really get people writing to me with cool jobs and opening with the sentence, I need a queen. This is a job for a queen.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah,
So but we wanted to talk about how it came about.
And also maybe a little bit about the second book, like how did that all came along? That I think it was just such a perfect match. Like you being in the workshop, and I had this idea of writing the second book, and I would just communicate it, and then we were both like, okay, we need to do this together. And like the whole process of you editing my book and writing, it was so, I don't know, it was so miraculous. It felt so easy. It was so much in the flow, and I just loved it so much. Yeah.
Because you were in a real cool flow, yeah. So I found it amazing that you when we first met, you said, I want to write this book within 3 weeks time, I think you said.
Yeah.
And I thought she's crazy. At that point, I mean, I had been writing my book for like 10 months, yeah, and I still haven't finished it, but that's my personal thing, But I really, you said you want to finish it by November. I mean, by December.
Yeah.
It was the 2nd of November. Okay, it was 5 weeks, but still, it was crazy. And the thing is, the reason why I was in your course, on your masterclass, first of all, is because I had read your first book, and I had not only read it, I had devoured it. I had really, I loved it. I still love it. Yeah. So it has become sort of a work of reference for me. So whenever I have a big question in life, I go to Lisa's books and I think, okay, it's all in there. All you need to know, you just have to open at any page and the right answer will be there.
I love that. It's awesome.
This is how I use your books, really. Yeah.
Thank you.
And after I had read your first book, I've always sort of wanted to meet you, yeah, but of course, I mean, if you're the author of a book, it's always like someone from TV, yeah. You're sort of a celebrity because, I mean, this is also one of the reasons, yeah, why people write books, because it gives them that celebrity status, especially if your book becomes a bestseller, as your books are. Yeah, and then when you told us in that masterclass that you were thinking of your second book, and you said you still need an editor.
Yeah.
And I just wrote in the chat, well, this is what I do. Yeah, I'm an editor, also among other things, but I love editing books. And you were like, oh, well, how nice is that? This is what I call win-win situations. Yeah, or win-win-win, actually. Yeah, so you were looking for an editor. I loved the things you wrote and your thoughts and everything. And I think it's also been good for all the others out there, for the readers.
Yeah, totally.
To a really nice book.
Yeah, you gave so many. Yeah, it was just so valuable. Like the whole process of you helping me to write it, amazing. And then I think then we started in January to work even more intensely together, because you became a client of mine also in private coaching. So maybe you want to talk about that a little bit, because many people, maybe they are like, okay, how is this going to be? What can I expect? So can you share a little bit, how do you experience these private sessions with me? What has changed in your business, in your life? What is the special thing about it? Yeah, maybe in comparison to other things you have already done.
What makes you really stand out for me is that you offer constellations, yeah, is the right word?
Yeah, constellation. Yeah.
It's really interesting. I thought about it yesterday when I was like preparing mentally for this talk, and I was thinking like, what is Aufstellung in the German word? What is it in English? And then I remembered it is constellation, and I thought, well, constellation, like with the planets and everything, yeah. So there's parallels as well to the universe as the big guidance, yeah. There are also constellations, and you can play around with it, yeah. So and so far I only knew the whole concept of constellations in the private sector, so only like with family constellations, yeah, so that you can put your grandfather in some relation to your sister and see why they never spoke to each other or something like that. And you were the first and still are the only one I know who applies this to a business context, which is amazing, because this is something nobody tells you. This is something you don't learn at business school. This is something that is not very widely spoken about on LinkedIn or all the business platforms. It's just a tool that was very new to me, with magnificent results, because it works so quickly. Yeah. So it's and once you know tools like these, I always keep wondering, why do people spend years and years and years in constellations they are not happy with, instead of just solving them by looking at them, becoming aware of where the problem is and what we can do to solve it and to make everybody happy. Yeah? Everybody. Because if there is something not right in that constellation, it's not only your problem, but the other person who is involved in this wrong constellation, they also don't feel good.
Yeah. You describe it really nicely. Also, the word constellation, I wasn't aware that you use it also for the planets, but it makes total sense, because the constellation, it's actually nothing more than the bigger picture, or the gestalt. So, for example, as you said, I'm using it for the business context, and this is a very, very unique way of also doing the constellation, because it's just a method I have been developing in the last 20 years. And as you said, it's a very quick and fast approach, because many people know constellation work also as something that's really like long. You need like 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, and this is quite draining. It can be really exhausting, and the way I work is really fast and solution focused. And this is what people really love, that you have quick results. And it's very playful also, because we work with the archetypes in the constellation. This is also what is going to happen in the new mastermind in the Awakening Leaders. This is maybe you still need to watch the replay from yesterday when I presented it. It's going to be so great. Maybe even it's something for you. You have to check it out, because I mean, you would be the perfect match for the mastermind. But it is going to start in the end of June, and we will dive into the 12 archetypes with constellation work, with healing work, especially the Queen, the King, the Magician, and there are so many others. And as you said, it brings so much in a really fast manner. It brings so much clarity and energy that you need for the manifestation, for the things you really want to manifest. And thank you so much for explaining it. maybe you can also tell the people. Seji is here actually. Yeah, hi Seji, nice to see you. What is one of the things that you feel maybe internally or externally or both has changed since we work together? What is the main thing? Like, what do you feel? What is different?
Well, one thing I have learned from you, what you have made me aware of, I must say, because I now know that I have been using many of these techniques for my whole life, and they are one of the reasons why so many people always ask me, how do you achieve that everything you start turns out into a success, And the one word I learned from you is synchronicities. So things happening at the same time. I would have in the past, I would have called it like what's the word for Zufall? Help me. coincidence.
Yeah.
Or by chance. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now I know nothing is a coincidence. Yeah.
Yeah.
And nothing happens by chance. But things happen as you manifested them. And
Yeah.
the idea of manifestation was actually the reason why I bought your first book, first of all.
Mhm.
Is the title is manifesting from your soul frequency. Yeah.
Mhm.
At
Mhm.
that time, it had been it's just not even a year ago. It was the first time I had stumbled over the word of manifestation. I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
know what it was.
Yeah.
It was all new to me. And this
Mhm.
is also maybe a good message to all the people listening. I have been in this whole movement for a year. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Not really
So
long,
many
actually.
things have changed and happened, and it's so life feels so much easier because now I know that I have all the tools that I can use to make happen. I don't want to say whatever I want to happen, but whatever is good for me
Mhm.
and the others. And this
Yeah.
is I had so many questions around that. You ask yourself questions like, is this manipulation? Am I allowed
Mhm.
to manipulate fate? Is this what I'm doing? I had lots of big questions in my head, and you were one. You had all the answers, and you
Mhm.
had them in a very so easy way that I just know that I just felt she knows it's true. Yeah. So this was
Mhm.
not like learned content, but with you, it's
Yeah.
like felt content. Yeah. You
Mhm.
just know, and this is what I so much value about you.
Thank
Yeah?
you.
Like a big teacher in that respect, and it can be, as I said, it's all happened within 1 year. It's not, I know especially women who have been doing this for 10 years, 20 years, and they still haven't achieved the success they want and they
Mm.
deserve. But you are a quick mover, and this is what I like. And I
Yeah.
would have never gone to one of those family constellations where you have to spend the whole day. I
Yeah.
have been invited lots of time, but I never was there because I didn't want to spend the whole day on it. But with you, 1 hour, one topic, one
Yeah.
result, done.
It got, yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Oh my God, this is so, I totally appreciate your words, and it resonates a lot with me. And yeah, I can totally hear you that, like, the quickness and the also to manifest from the soul frequency means that you are manifesting in alignment with source and with the higher self. And this is totally different, because I think in in this industry, I mean, I've been doing this for so long, like, I really have seen it all, I have to say. I've seen so many teachers, and I've done so much that I think it can be a trap that people start to think that they can manifest anything and everything they want. And I think this is not true, because manifesting that's really aligned with source means that you are, you're manifesting to the highest good of all. So this is like the baseline. It's not only about you, it is also about you, of course. It's about your personal wishes, your happiness, your wealth, your financial wealth, and all of that. But this is not the only thing. And if it, if it's only about you, it's a really egocentric approach. And I think we need we need to really look at the whole picture. And I think this leads to the next question, because I also wanted to ask you about true abundance in leadership, because the whole, I was teaching about it for the last 3 days. And that this is a topic that's so close to my heart, because I wrote about it in the second book, especially true abundance. So maybe just share a little bit, what is it for you? What is true abundance for you? And also mm, like, what is leadership? Like, what is the, how would you describe a true leader? A person who is a true leader.
Yeah, I would like to start with the first question, because
Yeah.
for the second question, it is still, I have never really seen myself as a leader,
Mm-hmm.
but still, I sort of am one, because I have a company with 10 fully employed women. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I never wanted to be, so I'm answering the second question. So.
Yeah.
No, but I never wanted to be the kind of leader in the sense of I show you what to do and I tell you what's right, because I never felt that I own the right to know what's right. I mean, yeah, I only know what's right for me, but what's right for the others. And I really like the idea of a herd, like with horses, yeah, where the leading role changes, yeah, and always the one.
The horses change, like they like different horses get to that position. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's usually female horses, yeah, who take the lead. So it's a fairy tale that there is like the stud, yeah, in front of the herd and telling all the girls what to do. This is not right. It's usually what's the English word? I think it's mares for the female horses, yeah. But it's not that there's always the same leader in a herd of horses, but according to the task ahead, it changes. They have like 2 or 3 very strong characters leading the whole herd, and depending on what it takes in that very moment, a different horse takes the lead. And this is actually my ideal idea of leadership, but I'm working on it always. So it's not that I could say we are a wonderful team, but it's not easy to be a leader, especially if this is not maybe not my soul frequency. You know what I mean? I feel this is not my most prominent task to be.
Yeah.
This is why I don't feel so comfortable with this role. And now my job is actually to find a way to coordinate my team without this traditional role of leadership. And I think that it is so interesting. And I loved your words in the book about what leadership of the new time should be. And it's all about co-creation, about creating great things together without one person saying, I'm the boss and I'll tell all the others what to do because I know.
Yeah.
The idea of leadership. Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes I do it. If any of my girls are watching, they will say, oh, she's talking big, and then she comes into the office and says, do this. Yeah, but we're all learning and developing, and I think this is what it's all about.
Actually, I like this a lot. Like I will take it with me, this beautiful image you gave me with the herd, and with these different horses, because this is just so fluid. It feels so fluid and organic, and it also takes off a lot of the pressure to that one person that is the leader. For example, if you have the contrary to that there is this one person and this person is the leader, there is also a lot of responsibility and pressure. But I like it that it's more fluid, and that each of us, it's also the idea of the time movements and the time waves, that everybody has a certain rhythm in their lives, and we need to listen to that. And maybe
especially women, especially women. I mean, we all have days when we don't feel like leaders. We feel weak and vulnerable, and it's so nice if you are allowed to express this, and you are like caught by you and supported by your team. If you can say, today is not my day, sorry girls, can someone else do it, please? I don't want to be responsible today.
And this is also strength, that you are able to admit that, and that you're not putting up a facade and just like, oh my God, I pretend everything is good all the time. Wow, this is really
and that you have a working environment where this is allowed. So I mean, everybody knows that every person has good days and bad days, but still in a working context, we always have to pretend that every day is a good day and every day is a successful day. And I mean, if you learn from Lisa, you will learn how to have many good days, because even if it seems like it might not be the best day, you can still manifest to be it an okay day.
At least. You can change quickly the energy, But as you said, it's really also important to learn to respect the boundaries of one another. I think also our own boundaries. As you said, sometimes we just have we have a bad day and there's stuff happening, and we just allow ourselves to breathe and to rejuvenate again. And amazing.
This was what I did yesterday. You know, as I just said, I've gone here to Switzerland to write my book, and then it was like a very in the morning. There are many things were happening. I did a lot of jobs, a lot of calls, and I wrote, and I was very active. And then I had lunch, and after that, I learned to ask myself, how do you feel? How are you feeling right now? And what would you love to do most now? And the answer was so clear. I would love to sleep. And it was at like now, yeah. It was like 3 PM, and I said, you can't do that. I mean, you came here to work, and then I said, why? Yeah, just give yourself permission to sleep. And I went to bed at 3 PM. It was so cool. And yeah, it still was a productive day. It was wonderful. Yeah, I mean, I would have sat in front of my computer anyway and producing nothing in that state of mind.
If you're
absolutely useless. But so many people sit in front of their computer every day between 3 and 5 because they have to be there from 9 to 5, and they're producing nothing. They could sleep.
Resting is actually resting can be really productive, and the pause can be really productive. I totally can see that.
But this brings us maybe to your first question, which I haven't answered.
Let's
what true abundance is. Because this was one of my favorite part as well from your second book, when you had that circle illustrating the 5 dimensions of abundance. Because people talking about abundance, most of the people only see money. They think abundance means being rich in money. But actually being rich in money is like the last step. And first you have to not even first and second and third, but it's that circle. What I really liked that you said, abundance also means wealth in time, which is, for example, allowing yourself to go to sleep at 3 PM. This is abundance in time. It is. Abundance in your relationships. This is what happened afterwards. My husband came home at 6. I had freshly awoken. We had a wonderful evening together because I felt fresh and inspired, and it was really, we were sitting on the balcony until 2 AM with a bottle of wine. It was wonderful. I couldn't have done that if I hadn't slept in the afternoon.
Awesome.
So this is abundance in relationships, abundance in time, abundance in money, of course. And what I liked most was your idea of spiritual abundance.
And mental, those two. These are the last ones. Mental and spiritual.
Because this is, what was the other one? Intellectual.
Mental, and then the spiritual.
And this is so important. And if I'm telling you that this played no role at all in my life until a year ago, it's really amazing what the leaps I have made in that 1 year since I've opened up for this kind of abundance.
Wow. Actually, it was exactly 1 year ago that I published my first book. Exactly. I think it was May 1st or 2nd when it came out. It feels so much longer than that. It's exactly 1 year.
So you wrote 2 books within 1 year. You're amazing. Really. I'm writing 1 book in 2 years and not quite finished yet. But maybe that's really your nature, so being quick.
It really is my nature. Like, I'm just a very kind of I have a very fast intellect, I would say. I'm a very fast, I don't know, it's just something that's activated a lot. And I get the downloads in a very fast and compact manner. It feels like the whole text is coming in like the whole thing is coming in. It's not like step by step. And then I have to, I don't know, I feel the rush and the energy to just download it. This is maybe how I can describe it. And this is also how I work with people. Like, when I work with people, it's a very intuitive and also psychic approach, actually, because I can just read the energy, and I'm called the detective of the subconscious. So this is my nickname because I'm really like a detective. I'm like just I'm trying to find the trace, and it's a very like holistic perception I'm getting, and it's almost like a download with so many different layers, and then you have to just step by step let it unfold in the process of a constellation or of a coaching. And I had to learn to really slow down. This was my main thing I had to learn, because I was way too fast. I remember, like, people just couldn't, even in the coachings, they couldn't catch up. They were like, oh my God. And I had to learn to really just slow it down, and now I can do it, and it feels very smooth, and just I can adapt to the velocity of the person. Yeah,
I like the way you're rolling your eyes up.
I know. I know.
Right when speaking, because this really shows me where you get your information from.
I know, I'm doing this so much. Actually, when I watch my replays, I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing this all the time when I'm looking up. But this is the movement that I'm looking up. I'm looking into the field. There is this field. You can call it quantum field or akasha, and it's just a skill you can learn to read the field, and it's almost like the Google. You put something into Google and then you get all the information. It's the same thing. And this is actually one of the things I'm going to teach the people that are going to join the Awakening Leaders.
So you're really teasing me. Because it's a skill I want to learn.
I have been teaching this for so many years here in Vienna. I was teaching channeling and training your intuition and being connected to the spiritual realms and to the ascended masters. And then I was letting it go, because I would focus more on the business topics that I'm still doing that also. But many people always came to me and they're like, why aren't you teaching that? And now all of a sudden it's just there, and I'm so looking forward to it, because I know it's such a big resource, if you learn to read the field. And so this is going to be a part of the Awakening Leaders that starts in June.
Let me really ask you something, and to all the listeners, we really haven't planned this, so this is no script now. But I mean, it sounds really, really tempting to me, but I still have sort of doubts that you can. I mean, could I learn it? I always thought it's like a special gift from heaven, whatever. Yeah, so that you are the person who has this.
Well, that's a good question. Actually, that's a really good question, because many people ask that. I remember that I got this question often back then when I was teaching channeling. Actually, you can learn it. It is something you can learn. It is the same thing as you can learn any other skill, like riding a bicycle, riding a car, playing tennis. I mean, of course, you also have a talent. I mean, this is also with any other thing. You have a talent. This is like the thing you've been given. So some people are more talented and some are less talented. It's just a matter of fact. So some people will learn it faster and more easily, and some people are going to have a little hard, it's going to be a little harder. But definitely this is something, there are techniques and ways to really train and sharpen it. It's a skill, it's something. So because I've been training, I mean, I have this gift, obviously I've been given a gift, but I have also been training it for so many years with so many different teachers. And I saw my own gift just getting sharper and sharper and sharper with the time and with the training. So I mean, you can learn it. And it is going to be an initiation in the 12th grade race of the Ascended Masters. So being initiated in the spiritual realms it's always grace. It is a process that is so for those that feel called to join, or maybe you, it is really a process of devotion, a process of surrendering, a process of being open to the unexpected, to the miracles. It is just so, I mean, I'm just so looking forward to it already, because it's such a joy and a pleasure. So this is maybe how you can, does it make sense if I explain it like that?
It does, absolutely. It does make sense, but it's of course the opposite of what you are. I'm just looking out of the window, and the plane is taking off in front of my window. This is synchronicities, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah.
These are the signs that I have learned to see and to read and to accept. Yeah. But what you've just saying, like words like surrender, and this is the opposite of what you are actually allowed to do in a business context. You know, this is the absolute opposite of
Yeah.
what we're trained to
I mean,
live our lives by.
Yeah, I mean, it's not only, I mean, this is one quality to surrender, but then on the other hand, it's also taking control of your talent and of the gift. You know, I've seen so many people that have a big gift, like they are just very open and they have a lot of insights and they feel a lot and they get a lot of downloads, but they are not in control of the gift. It can be also toxic, it can be draining, because we need to, you know, this is also leadership, being in being the leader of your talents. And I learned to turn it off and turn it on, if I just like this.
This is also a good thing, because this is something, this would be a fear inside me. Yeah. Once you can read everybody's field, I wouldn't want to do this with every person. No.
You actually you do not want to do it, and also you're actually not allowed to do it, because this is crossing boundaries, and it is something you can use for a specific, you know, in a specific situation. If you're writing a book, for example, if you're coaching, if you need to make an important decision, but it's something you can turn off and on. It's like you turn off the lights and you turn it off on again. Yeah. But you need to learn that. So for example, I can turn it off when I work with someone, and then after the session, I just close it again. When I'm privately just walking around or seeing friends, also I'm not doing that, because why would I do it? I just wanna meet my friends and talk to them. So this is all going to be part of the Awakening Leaders. And of course, manifestation and archetypical wisdom, the 12 archetypes, the 12 great rays, the 12 ascended masters. So, and we start on June 21st at the summer solstice, which is a great day to start. And we're going to end at the winter solstice. So I think it's just going to be a magical thing.
Oh,
and yeah, so maybe, I don't know. I mean, we see each other anyways, because you're in my private coaching, but maybe, let's see, maybe you feel also called to join. Yeah. So thank you so much, Sylva. It was such a pleasure to talk to you.
As always with you.
Yeah. Now I could sit here for hours, but I know you need to go and I need to go also, because you also need to finish your book.
So, I still have to have some breakfast, which I haven't had today, but okay. on purpose.
Yeah, so I wish you all the best for the book, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. And have a beautiful time at the Bodensee. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we talk soon. We see each other soon. And thank you also, Seji, for being here with us.
Yeah, thank you all.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye-bye.